Once close allies, Donald Trump and Elon Musk have now turned their friendly ties into a public feud, trading jabs on social media. It all started after Musk's brief stint as a special government employee ended in late May 2025. Not long after stepping down, Musk took to X to slam Trump's latest spending package, calling it a disgusting abomination. Naturally, Trump didn't take that lightly, and the back and forth quickly escalated. Things took an even sharper turn when Musk accused Trump of being linked to the Epstein scandal. Whether the two will ever patch things up remains unclear. You'd think they might have more in common, being two of the world's richest and most influential figures. But how they built their empires and what they choose to spend their fortunes on couldn't be more different. The President of the United States, the largest economy in the world, enjoys much more than the biggest office in the country. He's also regarded as one of the most powerful men on the face of the planet. Right now, that honor's being held by Donald J. Trump, the 47th president who'd previously also served as the 45th in the nation's history. Trump had been a familiar figure long before he entered politics, though. You might have remembered him from the Home Alone movies or The Apprentice, a popular reality show. But Trump's claim to fame isn't from the odd Hollywood appearance every now and then. In fact, he's known as one of the biggest real estate magnates in the United States. And it all dates back to the late 80s when his paternal grandfather, Friedrich Trump, immigrated to the United States from Germany. The family's patriarch started off with a few businesses here and there during the Yukon Gold Rush and quickly amassed a small fortune. He then used that money to buy real estate and set up the Trump family for life. Fred Trump, Donald Trump's father, built on the family fortune during the Great Depression when he made housing in Brooklyn and Queens. He's the reason the family inherited several million. Sure, it had a lot to do with his shrewd business tactics, but he got the job done in the end. And then, of course, came Donald Trump, who inherited the family business from his father. While Fred Trump had made his millions by providing real estate for the middle class, Donald rebranded the Trump family name by shifting focus over to Manhattan. Redevelopment of the Grand Hyatt Hotel, acquiring the Plaza Hotel, building several casinos, and who can ever forget about the iconic Trump Towers? From the late 1990s onward, Trump shifted strategy. Rather than building everything himself, he increasingly licensed the Trump name to hotels, condos, and golf courses worldwide, earning millions in branding fees with relatively little financial risk. He was generating a lot in passive income, and meanwhile, redirected his focus on working on The Apprentice and other projects, including politics. Some of his properties saw booms due to political supporters, while others faced backlash and declining revenues. Post-presidency, Trump has continued to generate income through speaking engagements, book deals, and fundraising, particularly through political action committees and supporter donations. Today, Donald Trump is worth between $5.1 and $5.5 billion according to Forbes, making him the 700th richest person on the planet. And now, let's hear it for the richest man on Forbes' billionaire list, Elon Musk. You might think it's crazy how, despite having $5.5 billion in the bank, Trump hasn't even entered the top 100 of the richest people in the world. But to put this into perspective, Elon has a net worth of roughly $411 billion. That's several times what Trump has, and what the whole Trump family has combined. However, unlike Trump, Elon Musk didn't come from a family of past millionaires. This isn't to suggest that Musk grew up poor. No, he actually grew up pretty comfortably as the son of an engineer and a model. The family lived in South Africa, where Musk enrolled at the University of Pretoria, ultimately relocating to the United States, where he attended the University of Pennsylvania. Musk was well regarded as a pretty smart kid. At age 12, he designed and later sold his first game. Musk isn't like traditional billionaires with extensive portfolios. In fact, he's amassed most of his fortune through just a handful of projects. The first of them was Zip2, an online city guide for newspapers. The company was later acquired, earning Musk his first million, or, well, $22 million. From there on, he was pretty much on a roll. Did you know that PayPal started off as X, a company that Musk had started and later sold in 2001 for $1 billion? Musk had enough money to retire, but he chose to reinvest that capital into something else, a little something we know today as Tesla. That's where the bulk of his earnings have come from. A key factor in Musk's rising net worth has been Tesla's skyrocketing stock price, especially after 2020 when the company's valuation soared as electric vehicles gained mass acceptance and investors rewarded Tesla's growth. Tesla also expanded into energy storage and solar technology, broadening its reach beyond cars. SpaceX was also started as a seemingly overambitious project by Musk to colonize Mars, but it's now worth several billion dollars. Likewise, Musk's acquisition of Twitter was also not without controversy, but he managed to turn that around in his favor. Musk's wealth might not be as stable as Trump's because it's based on stock valuations, but he's diversified his portfolio just enough to live comfortably for the next several lifetimes. When it comes to the most expensive things they own, Trump has a lot of real estate to boast. At the top of his property portfolio sits Mar-a-Lago in Palm Beach, Florida. Originally purchased in 1985 for around $10 million, its current estimated value sits somewhere between $75 million and $300 million, depending on which valuation source you reference. Trump has often claimed it's worth over $1 billion. Of course, there's also the Trump Tower on Fifth Avenue in New York City, built for around $300 million. It remains one of Trump's most iconic holdings, also his most lucrative one. Between 2000 and 2018, the building's office and retail spaces generated in excess of $20 million a year. Alongside it stands Trump World Tower on First Avenue, which cost roughly $300 million to construct. The building's luxury condos have fetched prices as high as $58 million for individual units. The Trump family name is associated with several other properties, including Trump Avenue Park, valued at approximately $93 million according to Forbes. Trump National Doral is in Miami, Turnberry is in Scotland, and Bedminster is in New Jersey. The combined value of his golf portfolio has been claimed to be between $1.7 billion and $2.4 billion. Outside of real estate, Donald Trump has extended the Trump name toward other ventures as well, including a Trump winery in Virginia and, more recently, the Trump meme coin, a cryptocurrency token launched in 2025 that briefly capped at $27 billion. While Trump's accustomed to enjoying the finer things in life, Elon Musk has distanced himself from the image of traditional billionaires. He might be the richest man on the planet, but his personal possessions are surprisingly limited. His real estate portfolio isn't much to brag about, although he does own several mansions. But Musk reportedly lives in a modest home in Boca Chica, Texas, nearer to SpaceX facilities. When it comes to luxury, Musk's biggest splurge seems to be his private jets. He owns a Gulfstream G650ER, which alone costs around $70 million, and a few older Gulfstream G555s worth about $50 million each. These jets log hundreds of flight hours every year as he travels between his companies. Musk doesn't appear to own super yachts, massive art collections, or fleets of exotic cars like many ultra-wealthy figures. In fact, his car collection is relatively small, though it includes a classic 1976 Lotus Esprit from a James Bond movie, which he bought for under $1 million. Overall, Musk's personal lifestyle is fairly minimal, with most of his wealth tied up in his companies rather than flashy possessions. What do you think about how two of the most powerful men in the world have amassed their billions? Do you think the former friends and current foes will ever be able to smooth things over? Let us know in the comments down below.